Hello everyone, today in this video we'll be discussing how to create a process. Not how to create a process, how to do the true and false decision. Okay, so if we add two numbers and the numbers sum is greater than 20, at that time we'll be outputting true, else we will be outputting false. Okay, so how do we do that in this UiPath Studio that we'll be seeing. Okay. So we'll be going to the projects section here and clicking on main.xaml twice, so that will be opened. And then what you have to do is first see we have to take two inputs, right? So for input we'll be using the input dialog, but before that we need to add a sequence, right? This has to be searched in activities, so I have to add a sequence. Okay, that sequence should be added. Inside that sequence only we'll be doing the steps. Okay, and this sequence should be a part of flowchart. Okay, so flowchart should be added before this one. So it is got added inside this, no props, we can just add it here. Okay, and this should be added inside this one. Okay, flowchart. After you have added flowchart, then double click it and add a sequence here. Okay, and attach this sequence to this one. And from the sequence what we are doing here, we will be adding two numbers, mean taking the input of two numbers, adding it, and then returning the result. Okay, after the result is returned, we have to add a flow decision here, so that whatever the decision is returned, it can be either true or false, right? That can be either true or false. If it is true, at that time what should happen? If it is false, at that time what should happen? If it is true, it should output it as true, and if it is false, it should output as what? False, right? So we'll be attaching two message boxes here. These message boxes will output true and false respectively. So this is true present here. I'll attach this one to message box here, so that when true happens, this will output, and when false happens, this one will output. Okay, and let's set what is the content. This is the true content, right? So it will be outputting as true. The double quotes will write. Okay, you'll go back to the flow chart, and same goes for the false as well. Here also will be writing as false. Okay, we are done with the message boxes. Now what is left is the sequence part. Okay, so let's go into the sequence part. Here what we have to do, we have to take two inputs, right? So for the input we have to go for the input dialog. Input dialog we will be adding here for the first number. So it will ask first number, then that will be the entered value, and this I can just directly use Control K to set a variable X. It will be stored in X, and remember we have to change the variables type here. So we can change the variable type here from string to int32. Okay, that is done. Now we have to again add a second input dialog box, and in this input dialog box it will say enter the second number, and the second number's value will be entered, and this has to be stored in the variable y. Okay, and this also has to be changed from the string to int32. When this has been done, the final result should be stored somewhere. So for that we'll be using assign, and we'll be putting assign here, and in which variable should be stored, I'll create a new variable by Control K as z, and that will be stored here. And what is the expression, means in z what should be stored? In that it should be stored x plus y. Okay, I'll be storing x plus y, and z should be int32. And since we are using z outside of this sequence, means in the flowchart we are using, so I have to change this as flowchart. Okay, so we can be access this from the flowchart itself. Okay, now what happens? Now nothing, just we have to run this code. Okay, so let's run the program and see. First go to the main sequence, and from here just run the program. There is an error here. Okay, so the error is the condition must be set before the flowchart can be used. Okay, why? Because here we have written flow decision, but there is no condition here. Means the z value will come, but what should be that criteria based on which it will become true or false? We just told orally, right? It should be greater than 20 or less than 20, but that should be specified here. So here what I can write is z is greater than or equal to 20. If it is greater than or equal to 20, at that time it will be outputting as true, or else it will be outputting false. Okay, then the error has gone, I guess. will go, it should go. Okay, so after that we'll come here. Yeah, the error has gone. We'll debug the file. Okay, here we'll be entering the first number. So what's the first number? We'll be entering it. See, greater than or equal to 20 means true, right? So let's try to get greater than 20. First number I'll put as 16. Okay, second number I'll put as 5, so that 16 plus 5 becomes 21, which is greater than 20. Okay, so this is 21. 21 is what? Greater than 20. It should output me true. Okay, let's do the other one also, like testing for false. Can debug this file. Here I'll be entering first as 1, and second number I'll be entering as 3. So what is 1 plus 3? 4. Okay, done. So we'll be getting false again. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and that's all for this video. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.